This day sucks, you guys.
God, hate days like today.
Super sucks.
Hate days like today. Listen, we were talking in pre-show. I have no idea how to gauge how long today's show is going to be.
It's going to be long.
I kind of want it to be short because the content is so unbearable to talk about.
It is. All of it.
But I have, as usual, we're going to leave in a good mood. Okay, that's always the goal of the show. Is even if we have to talk about hard stuff, we're going to leave in a good mood.
Totally.
So count on it. And actually, we're going to start off with something. It's not, silly. It is a news story of sorts, but the reason for my name today is because there is this guy that I've never heard of before named Dmitry Daskalakis, and I love that name. Like, I just love to say it. Daskalakis, right? Like, is that not a
anything
great name?
with lots of K's in it? You're like, that sound, you love that sound.
I do. And that's a good name. Now, the guy himself is a complete lunatic. And he is a CDC, he's some bigwig at the CDC, or at least he was until yesterday when he decided to resign for all kinds of like dramatic reasons, because basically he hates RFK.
Oh, okay.
And so I was like, what? Why is this guy being so public and weird about his resignation? And so the whole letter that he wrote to the CDC about resigning is so just self-indulgent and over the top. We're not including the whole thing, but if you could just read these sections that we have.
Okay. My resignation letter from CDC. Dear Dr. Howery, is that his name?
Yeah, I don't know.
I am writing to formally resign from my position as director of the National Center of Immunization and Respiratory Diseases at the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, effective August 28th, 2025, close of business. I am happy to stay on for 2 weeks to provide transition if requested. Well, that's nice that he's doing that. This decision has not come easily, as I deeply value the work that the CDC does in safeguarding public health, and am proud of my contributions to that critical mission. However, after much contemplation and reflection on recent developments and perspectives brought to light by Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., I find that the views he and his staff have shared challenge my ability to continue in my current role at the agency and in the service of the health of the American people. Enough is enough.
So here's a little more.
I am unable to serve in an environment that treats CDC as a tool to generate policies and materials that do not reflect scientific reality and are designed to hurt rather than improve the public's health. The recent change in the adult and children's immunization schedule threatened the lives of the youngest Americans and pregnant people.
That's when I was like, okay, nothing else you say matters, because you refer to women as pregnant people. Mm-hmm. And that is not acceptable.
Yeah, so but then he's talking about scientific reality.
Right,
and he says
exactly.
Pregnant people. Okay.
Exactly. So here's a tiny bit more.
For decades, I have been a trusted voice in the LGBTQ community when it comes to critical health topics. I must also cite the recklessness of the administration and their efforts to erase transgender populations, cease critical domestic and international HIV programming, and terminate key research to support equity as part of my decision.
And here's how he signed off.
Sincerely, Dmitry C. Daskalakis, MD, MPH, his, him.
I mean,
bye. Bye. We won't need you for 2 weeks. Bye.
I was just like, you listen, I might have been interested to hear what you had to say about why you're leaving CDC, and then you ruined it.
The nice first paragraph, and then it was like,
right.
Yeah.
So then, as this started to travel through the social sphere, then it was revealed that this is him. So,
okay.
So Rob Smith posted, the fewer public health professionals that we have serving in government who think it's a great idea to pose in a pentagram harness for a magazine cover, the better.
Yes.
Bye.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is who we've had serving in the CDC.
Bye. Seriously. It's like, what on what planet is that a good idea as a professional in any profession to wear a pentagram harness for a photo shoot in any profession?
Yeah.
Bye.
Well, and apparently he has made waves in right-wing circles before because of his penchant for wearing pentagram harnesses. And so people accused him of being satanic, which he roundly rejects. He says that is absolutely not true. I am not a Satanist. I just wear really high-end harnesses. That's his excuse, you guys.
It's just provocative. It gets the people going.
I can't. I cannot with these people. I cannot.
They're all freaks. They're freaks, you guys. Okay. Yes, you guys, make sure that you are you're looking at Prager. We love PragerU. Support them, okay? Help shape a better future with Prager. We love them so much. Donate at PragerU.com/chicks. If you get a chance, do that because they're fantastic. We love them.
Support truth and values, which is obviously what that guy has
the
about.
The opposite of that dude in the pentagram harness.
I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's go through the journey of yesterday, shall we?
It was my birthday.
Yeah, it was your birthday, and it was not
a good news day. Not a good news day.
And if for some reason there are people out there who are like, why? What happened? I didn't watch TV at all yesterday. We're going to take you through the journey of horror that was yesterday, aside from your birthday, which was not a horror, of course.
Right.
But just the quick summary is that there was a Catholic school and a church, Annunciation Catholic School in Minneapolis, where children were basically there to pray ahead of their classes beginning. And there was a shooting that occurred from outside into the stained glass windows. 2 kids, 8 and 10, were killed. Like 14, 15 others, including a couple of adults, were injured. They are all expected to survive. But the fact that 2 kids were lost to this insanity, this senseless shooting, is obviously horrible. And one of the kids, who is a survivor, spoke about it a little bit to reporters afterwards, talking about how a friend helped
What happened with him? Is he okay?
Yeah, I think he's gonna be okay. And then my friend, he was like laying on top of me, like making sure I was safe, and he got hit. So that was really brave of him.
And you have a nick on your neck?
Yeah, that was, I don't even know what it's from. Kind of looks like debris or something.
But that came from during this?
Yeah.
How are you?
God bless them. These
I
little
know,
kids,
right?
Go through that.
I know, I can't.
Okay, so I mean, yeah, as we go through the journey, we'll learn more about what happened. But initially, what happened is that Mayor Frey, Jacob Frey, came out immediately to criticize anyone who was suggesting that we pray about this, which was insane. And he's not the only one, but he basically kicked off this sort of anti-prayer sentiment. Here's what he said.
And don't just say this is about thoughts and prayers right now. These kids were literally praying. It was the first week of school. They were in a church. These are kids that should be learning with their friends. They should be playing on the playground. They should be able to go to school or church in peace without the fear or risk of violence, and their parents should have the same kind of assurance.
What a soulless ghoul.
Same Jacob Frey is the one you see pictured here, kneeling and I mean, probably praying over George Floyd's casket. So spare me.
I don't think he was praying. I don't think that guy prays.
God.
I don't think a lot of these people pray. They don't want you to pray, but keep praying. Keep doing it.
Yeah, because of course that's, I mean, anybody that suggests otherwise at a time like this is doing the absolute opposite of what should be done.
Right.
And the more of these like soulless people on the mainstream media, they just bought in to what Jacob Frey said. Here was Dana Bash's immediate reaction.
Expressing something that I know you feel and most people feel, which is a combination of sadness, but raw rage. Forget about thoughts and prayers. These kids were literally praying when they were murdered through a church window.
It's unbelievable. And just, you know, Jacob, the mayor, and his wife Sarah just had a a second baby, so I know he knows this just gutturally of how this feels.
First of all, I'm just stunned that Jacob Frey is straight, I guess I should say, because that
Right.
was shocking.
Mhm. Yeah.
But this was like a theme, you guys, that was happening throughout the day. Brian Krasenstein, who's one of the worst people ever, said praying is the problem here, not the solution. People use prayer instead of action. If prayer worked, a house of prayer wouldn't have just experienced this tragedy. I mean, what kind of, that is, it's just insane.
So basically, Krasenstein has the same ideology as the shooter.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I
does Amy
mean-
Klobuchar. So does Dana Bash. Congratulations. You're as messed
Yeah.
up as he is, or she,
And
or whatever the hell it was. Yeah.
Yeah. And so does Jen Psaki, who said
Mhm.
prayer is not freaking enough. Prayers do not end school shootings. Prayers don't make parents feel safe sending their kids to school. Prayer doesn't bring these kids back. Enough with the thoughts and prayers. I just could not believe how pervasive this thought process was for people on the left. And even though Michael Steele says he's on the right, that's bullshit.
I agree with the mayor. I'm not, the thoughts and prayers, I'm so beyond.
Okay.
So beyond that nonsense, the lie of that.
Wow.
Okay.
I love how Zeek Arkham put it. He said, after listening to what Democrat leaders and elected officials are saying about prayer and faith today, I sincerely don't understand how any Christian can continue to vote Democrat. They're literally telling you that your faith is irrelevant to your face.
Yes. And the shooter targeted that place because they are Christian / Catholic. That's why he went there and did that. He did that. I mean, I don't know. People were saying yesterday, I don't know. What's the motive? We don't know the motive. What do you think the motive was? Jeez, it doesn't take a freaking brain surgeon to figure that out. Oh my God. Like, seriously, is this hard? I got so angry about that yesterday because people are like, we still don't know a motive. It was a transgender that went after Christian kids. We've seen this before. I'm sorry. Am I not supposed to say that out loud?
Oh,
I
no, you can say it.
I'm
You can
saying
say
it. It's our show, so I'm saying it out loud. And I got really pissed off this morning because I did an experiment. Here's an experiment. You guys can do it. If you don't believe me, you can do it yourselves. I went to ChatGPT and I asked, how many mass shootings have been carried out by white men? And it happily told me, right? And then I asked it, how many mass shootings have been carried out by transgendered? And it flagged me for violating their usage policy. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. My request was flagged as potentially violating their usage policy. Please try again with a different prompt. Yeah. You can't do that. That tells me where we are as a society. You can't ask ChatGPT how many transgenders have carried out a mass shooting, but you can ask it how many white men have. That's where we are.
Wow.
Right. Just
immediately switch to Grok. Immediately.
Well, this is the thing. But this is where we are as a society. Just like the mayor says, they're the victims. Christians are not the victims. I am over that. I'm not over the prayer. Keep praying, y'all. Keep praying.
And also, kind of an aside, but stay prepared. Stay prepared for whatever possible disaster or emergency may befall you and your area.
Yes.
With ReadyWise.
Mm-hmm. Food. I
And
know
soup.
it's so hard to like transition with this stuff. I'm trying to like,
I'm
I'm
trying.
so mad. Like I'm just raging right now. But yes, you should totally be prepared because you in danger, girl. And I always worry about mock with hurricanes, but also here in Texas, like you just never know with the electrical grid, it's constantly going down. So we have a little storm shelter in our shop outside, and we have lots of ReadyWise food. We have water. We have one of the solar power generators, which is fantastic because it's really fast charging. It has a high capacity lithium battery. It has multiple outlets on it, which is great because everybody in our house, if crap hits the fan, everybody's going to want to plug stuff in. This is what we're going to do. And it powers phones and small appliances, and it's easy to carry. They're really great to have. I would highly recommend one of the solar powered generators, but also they have gourmet food. Like they don't just have like regular food, gross food. They have gourmet freeze-dried meals with like 2,000 calories and 50 grams of protein. And you can get breakfast and lunch and dinner. You can get whey milk. So it
And
has
snacks.
and snacks, 25-year shelf life. It's easy to store, easy to prepare. You just add water. It's really great stuff. So you can count on ReadyWise to help you prepare for any emergency. Visit ReadyWise.com. Use code CHICKS10 for 10% off. That's ReadyWise.com, 10% off. Use code CHICKS10.
Do it. Our friend Scott Jennings really just hit this nail on the head when it came to all of this nonsense from Democrats about prayer last night. It was so powerful how he put this. Take a listen.
Yeah, I actually had a negative reaction to the mayor's statements today. I think it's wrong, frankly, to vilify or attack people of faith. You said thoughts and prayers ring hollow. I think thoughts and prayers are the most solid on days of tragedy for people who live their faith every day. And I think on a day like today, particularly in a church community, there are probably people praying harder for comfort today than they have ever prayed in their life. And so I think, and I've heard others on the left today go down this line of attack against people of faith, sort of denigrating the idea that they might want to pray today. And so I think his statements were misguided. The thing that struck me today, Abby, truthfully, when I was watching this unfold, was that the two little ones that died were 8 and 10. I have 7 and 9. Those are my two youngest. They turn 8 and 10 in a few days. And we could probably sit here and argue out all the issues of faith and transgenderism and all the other things that have been raised today, but it strikes me that none of us ever want to know the terror and the absolute empty hole that will never be filled that those parents of the 8 and 10-year-old are going to feel. And I just thought maybe tonight the most useful thing any of us could do would take 10 seconds and just sit quietly and be still and be quiet and think about those families, because they are never going to be the same, no matter what we say.
He's right.
Yeah.
He's absolutely right.
And
Yep.
yeah, I have so many cuss words to say about all the other people that are saying enough with the thoughts and prayers. Really hard not to say bad.
You were frozen. You were totally frozen during that.
Is it me?
Yeah, you were frozen. We got our 10 seconds of quiet when you were frozen. That was our 10 seconds, you guys.
Well, that's probably best because like what I was saying when I
Was
was
cut.
frozen,
She was cussing the whole time. She was cussing, you guys. That's what
I
it
was
was.
basically saying I'm trying really hard not to say all
Right.
the cuss words.
I thought maybe God was intervening because you were saying all the words, and he was like, "Oh no, oh no."
I
Yeah.
mean, for real, that was probably
Yeah, it's true though. Like I don't understand it either. You know what? I feel sorry for the people that are saying that. I truly feel sorry for them. And you know what? Everybody should pray for them and their hearts because they are messed up.
Yep.
Messed up.
Absolutely. And now, of course, the politics and all of the chitter chatter about guns and trans and all the things, it happens almost instantaneously now with these kinds of news stories. One of the things that not to be pointed out is that just within a 24-hour period, there was this mass shooting near a Catholic high school. There was a fatality around 8 p.m., a deadly shooting downtown early in the morning, a mass shooting at a Catholic elementary school. And this is all in Minneapolis. And as they pointed out, Democrats who essentially control the city and state at large have boasted about how Minneapolis crime is down from the mostly peaceful riots of 2020, even after they defunded their police department in the name of fighting racism. A police force that's unable to properly respond due to high levels of violent crime on a random Tuesday night and Wednesday morning says otherwise. And then it turns out, according to this headline, that there were Catholic school leaders warning Tim Walz a couple of years ago that they needed help, that the schools are under attack, that in 2023, when a trans person shot up the Christian school in Tennessee, the head of Minnesota's Catholic schools asked Tim Walz for help and nothing changed, not a single thing. In fact, they just doubled down on all the trans issues. And we've got some clips that we can remind people about in just a second. But that just brings us to the shooter, right? And so now the more that we're learning about this absolute psychopath, this is a guy, his name was Robert, who changed his name with his mother's blessing. She filled out all the legal paperwork back in 2020 so that Robert could become Robin. And speaking of the mom who signed off on all the paperwork, that mom apparently worked and retired from that same church. So there was some connection there. And then interestingly, before the name of this person came out on the news, before there was any information about this person at all, social media found him, found the YouTube channel on which he posted a 20-minute absolute stream of consciousness,
Horrifying.
psychosis, awful.
Yeah.
We're not going to play any of it because it's too disturbing.
Horrifying.
But it was all out there and available while, we're hearing from the talking heads on TV, oh, we don't know anything about who this is. And,
Right.
Granted, I don't like it when people rush to say this is who it is, because so often that's wrong. But in hindsight, knowing that who they mentioned was the person that it ended up being the culprit, it's amazing how quickly all of this stuff is sourced and investigated and found on X and other social media platforms
by regular people, by regular people. And then the actual journalists aren't doing their effing jobs. That it is really interesting. In these particular cases, it's like they pick and choose which stories need to be talked about and which stories don't. This one, I mean, it was just interesting that we happened to find, or I say we, but normal people happened to find all of this stuff about this dude. Our media sucks.
And I can assure you that had the YouTube channel that included pages and pages and pages and pages of this weirdo's manifesto, and the basically the suicide note that he left behind for his family, none of that would ever be made public had internet sleuths not grabbed it while it was still available. I can assure you that we would not have seen any of it. We would not know the absolute lunacy of this guy and the hatred that he had, not just for Christians, but literally everybody. And in particular Jews. A lot of the weapons that he used, by the way, all three of the firearms he used were legally purchased. But he wrote on like the magazines of these weapons, 6 million wasn't enough, referring to Jews. Why so curious? Kill Donald Trump. All of these things were written on the actual weapons that he used. And then in the diaries and in all the like weirdly, like I think he used like some form of Russian or weird, there was like all kinds of weird language in there. And then the New York Post translated Cyrillic alphabet, whatever that is. He was very much a part of this whole Free Palestine thought process. Even saying, if I will carry out a racially motivated attack, it would most likely be against filthy Zionist Jews. Apparently that's what was written.
Yep. And I agree with you. If they wouldn't have found it if these internet sleuths wouldn't have found it, it would have been Tennessee all over again.
Right.
Would have been the transgender thing in Tennessee. Because remember, we didn't find out. I mean, we literally had to beg and plead to get something about that individual. Interesting how that works, right? If it's a white male, we know about it immediately.
And this person was so crazy and selfish that they knew that they were going to off themselves, but they couldn't just do that. They had to take out kids in the process.
Right.
And even said that doing that, killing kids of innocent civilians, would bring him the most joy. And then he said, I can't really put my finger on a specific purpose. It definitely won't be for racism or white supremacy. I don't really like being around people of color, but I don't give enough of a shit about them to take my life for them.
Oh my God.
The only thing that I have disagreed with you about so far in this show is that I don't think this was specifically about Christians and Catholics. This was a person who hated literally everybody and just wanted to bring pain, no matter, it just happened to be like a place with which he was familiar. So I don't know that it was necessarily, I'm going to get Catholic kids.
These Catholic kids or these Christian
I'm just going to send the most horrific message that I can.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But I do believe that transgenderism is a mental health issue that needs to be addressed and treated. I really do. And
without question.
not amplified. And they definitely don't get a pass for shooting up Christians. They don't get a
No.
pass. And I feel like it is a mental issue that is so entirely different than the LGB part of LGBT.
Totally.
The T is different. And I'm sick of pretending that it's not. It is
100%.
different. And people need to start talking about that. And when I was looking at the coverage about this yesterday, MSNBC and CNN, all they talked about were guns. That's all they talk about. They
And
immediately
we're
go to
gonna
the
show that. We're going to have a lot of that.
That's it. That's all they talk about is the guns. And I'm like, I can't even listen to this shit anymore. I can't, because it's like they are the root of the I know we're going to get to it, but it's like, it's immediate, and it's just like discounting everything that is so obvious. And in everybody, it's so obvious.
Yes.
If you have half a brain cell, you see what's happening here. And it's like, it's like seeing a kid that has problems and being a parent and not recognizing that the kid has problems. You've got to get the kid help. That's what's happening here. We're not doing that as a country. And it's so frustrating.
In fact, we're just glamorizing the whole entire trans ideology. What this guy and what so many other people need is medication, which, by the way, they do actually have medication for depression included at all family pharmacy.
They do. They have a lot of stuff there. They have ivermectin starting at just $2 per capsule. Most ivermectin and mebendazole is now up to 25% off. They have that. They have hydroxychloroquine. They have antibiotics. They have NAD, which is the cutting edge anti-aging injectable that is taking the country by storm. They have methylene blue, which is what RFK Jr. talks about a lot. They have a lot of the prescriptions that you're probably already taking. You can bundle stuff. You can have it shipped right to your door, hassle-free, transparent pricing. There are no surprise bills. All Family Pharmacy is awesome, you guys. It's trusted by thousands of Americans who are already taking the middleman out of the equation. And then they want to take control of their own health, which is what conservatives do, right? This is what we do. You can order online in minutes. A licensed doctor reviews and approves your prescription. Just get free, like put your medical freedom back in your hands. Go to allfamilypharmacy.com/chicks. See what's out there. Use code CHICKS10. Order some today. It's your health, your choice. No more waiting. No more sitting at a doc in the box. That's allfamilypharmacy.com/chicks, code CHICKS10.
Do it. You were just talking about like how awful the mainstream media was. And an example of that is even when like all of that 20-minute YouTube video, all the information was out and they were supposedly scouring through it, they left out, so much of the lying that the mainstream media does is by omission. Here is a perfect example coming from ABC.
We've also been going through it and can tell you there.
By the way, just really quickly, I want to point out that the picture on the right side of your screen is not part of this news report, okay? It's his whole face that's on the screen. Somebody on Twitter then added the photo for reference so you can see what he's omitting.
There are crude diagrams of the church. There are also photos of the weapons, and they include all sorts of writings, the names of past mass shooters, criticism of Israel, the name of President Trump written on the guns. There are also racial slurs, nihilistic statements, all painting the picture of a disturbed individual who carried out this mass shooting.
It had Donald Trump's name on it, you guys.
Just his name. Just his name.
What in the world?
Right.
Was
could you,
that?
Could you imagine if it were a right winger and then they put Obama's name on it or Biden's name on it? Can you imagine the coverage, the amplification? Like, could you just imagine? It doesn't matter. Listen, it's like, doesn't matter.
Ridiculous.
It's just Trump.
And then, of course, idiots like the mayor of Minneapolis, immediately the concern is, first of all, denigrating people of faith, and then worrying about how this is going to impact the trans community.
I have heard about a whole lot of hate that's being directed at our trans community. Anybody who is using this as an opportunity to villainize our trans community or any other community out there has lost their sense of common humanity.
Oh my God. I just
Got it. Again, they're the victims, right? They're the
just
victim class.
unbelievable.
Yeah. How can they turn this around? It's so interesting. It's like gaslighting.
Yeah.
He's turning it around and he's making transgenders the victims here. I'm sorry,
Mhm.
but WTF? I can't.
It's insane. And I mean, it shouldn't be any surprise, especially in this state, because as we've even showed you before this tragedy happened, you know, the DNC has been having their summit there in Minneapolis, and they've been talking about trans issues incessantly, even though this is a losing issue for them. The last election should have proved that. And yet, we'll just remind you, this is what Tim Walz said
Minnesota
at that
ranks
summit.
the highest per capita for being a safe haven for transgender individuals in Minnesota.
Great. How about a safe haven for the people that don't want to be killed by them?
Right.
How about that?
Yeah.
That would be good.
Mm-hmm.
Suburban black man said, how can anyone feel safe in the state of Minnesota with Tim Walz as governor? And our friend Michelle Tafoya simply said,
We don't.
We don't.
No.
we don't.
Nope.
And he's not the only one. Keith Ellison, Attorney General, said something similar at the summit.
And we have sued them for gender affirming care. Yes, we are not going to scapegoat our transgender community. And we have sued them to stand up for medical research.
People are so over this shit. I'm over
my
it.
God.
I'm over it.
So
It's
over
time
it.
for a conversation, you guys. Just over it. I'm serious. Like, they are brushing this under the rug. They want so badly to make this go away and to make transgenders the victim somehow. They're not. They're not.
And the worst example, now this is a less recent one. I think this was like a year and a half ago, that the lieutenant governor of the state of Minnesota, excuse me, and I don't even remember her name. She is such a psycho.
Yeah.
But she also huge, like pro-trans activist, essentially. And remember, here's what she said a couple years ago.
Tell us who they are. It is our job as grown-ups to listen and to believe them.
Okay. I like the
That's
knife.
What it means to be a good parent.
That's what it means to be a good parent. This was the shirt that she
Right.
was wearing.
Look at the knife.
What message is that supposed to send?
Right. What the hell does that mean, psycho? With
God.
the freaking knife on your shirt.
I can't.
Okay.
I cannot. Insurrection Barbie, who it's like such a bot account, but I love it anyway, because
Yeah, I know. I love it too.
the things that it posts I always agree with. And they wrote, the school shooting phenomenon is one of the darkest developments in the last decades. We don't understand its root causes fully. We never address the underlying problems. And the only thing that happens is that the left wants to grab guns from law-abiding citizens and the right has to fend off those attacks.
Totally.
Instead, we need to start having honest conversations about what is causing this by looking at mental states, prescription drugs, cultural influences, and parental involvement, so we can figure out a way to mitigate this as a society.
No one wants to do that. The only people that want to do that are people on the right. I mean, you guys, a lot of people here are Gen Xers, boomers, people like that listening right now. I don't know if you're like me. I went to school in the 80s, high school. A lot of guys in Georgia that I went to school with had freaking guns in the back of their pickup trucks and their cars. They went hunting after school. Anybody could have just walked into their car, gotten the gun, walked into the school and shot it up. Didn't happen. It did not happen when I was in school. I never had to fear this stuff when I was in school. I know you didn't either, Mock. We didn't have to worry about this. Why? Why is that? Why didn't we have to worry about it? And then my kid does. It's not because it's not because of guns. It's not the same amount of guns. Like, people had more guns going to school. It's not because of guns, you guys. It's because of all of the things that Insurrection Barbie said. It's all those things, and we're not talking about it.
Stephen King, another perfect example I saw on Twitter this morning, that he said, it's not the trans, it's the guns. And I'm like, we have a whole bunch of guns in our house. And
We
yet
do.
somehow they're not like just going off and shooting people.
Exactly.
How is that? Why is that? My God, how is that? I can't even believe that is something that needs to be explained. And yet this is where we are. Kurt Schlichter, always reliably Rye, had this to say. He demands common sense trans control. And I don't disagree.
I totally agree. I absolutely agree.
But Jen Psaki, who cried her eyes out on TV yesterday, I'm not even going to play that part because it was so I just was so mad at her about the whole prayer thing already.
Yeah.
That to see her crying, I just was like, all of it is fake to me. All of it.
Nice acting. Like somebody give her an Oscar already.
Right?
Uh-huh.
And so she also had Jacob Frey on her show last night and asked him the most ridiculous question. But this is the liberal mentality.
There has already been sort of some effort, which I think is so sick and disgusting, to weaponize some of the details, even if we don't know a lot at this point in time. And obviously the law enforcement in your city have been keeping people abreast, including details about the individual possibly being trans, about the individual possibly having negative things to say about Trump, about some things that have been on the weapons. A lot of this is just very early reporting. What do you do as a leader of your city to prevent details from being weaponized and using this to blame something other than the guns?
How can you blame something other than the guns?
Right. I mean, the guns just walked over there and shot themselves off. It's the guns. It's not the guy who did it. Why are they so stupid?
I don't know. It makes me insane. It makes me rage so hard.
Okay.
And at this point, I mean, I don't know why the simplest answer to so much of this is simply hardening soft targets like churches and schools.
Well,
granted, this guy was on the outside, but still, if you have appropriate person who is securing a building, securing the building, you can prevent things like this. I mean, that's the thing. It's so obvious to me.
Listen, I have been screaming about this. I've been writing representatives here in Texas forever about this, and I don't get anything back. I mean, believe me, like my number one, like I wish I could do this. If I could do this before I get old and I lose my mind, is I would love to see metal detectors and resource officers in every single school in America, every single one. Because if our government buildings that have freaking politicians have resource officers and metal detectors in them, why don't my kids get protected? Why don't your kids and your grandkids get protected? Why are politicians more important than our kids? Why is that? We pay taxes. Every single school should have a metal detector. They should have locks on the doors, and they should have resource officers. Period. All of them. That should be priority number one. Like our tax dollars should pay for that. And if they don't, they need to have them immediately. I don't know why that's not a thing. Why are we not doing that? People shouldn't be able to walk in the doors. They shouldn't be able to they just shouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah. And listen, it's not a fail safe, but it's certainly better than
it's a deterrent.
Nothing.
It's a deterrent.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a deterrent. And someone pointed out, I saw this on Twitter yesterday too, that it's, to your point, it's not just government buildings, it's banks.
Right.
They have guards protecting money.
Yeah.
Which I guess is more important than human lives.
Our kids. So when politicians tell you, I care about your kids, say bullshit. No, you don't. You represent me. And I say that in Texas all the time. All these Republican Texas people who represent me, when they say, I care about your kids, I always call bullshit. Because I'm like, if you cared about my kids, you would have metal detectors in every single school in Texas. They don't care about my kids. They don't care about your kids. Call them out on it. Demand that they get metal detectors at every single school with the resource officers.
Exactly. Exactly right. This is the kind, like when we start talking about stuff like this and we both get so enraged. I feel like this is when I should be taking advantage of the rage to go work out. You know what I mean? Because I feel like I would have a way healthier workout when I'm in a rage state.
Totally. Right.
And this is helpful, you guys, for working out Beam is all kinds of other stuff.
Okay, I love Beam. If y'all have been here a hot minute, you know that out of the two of us, I'm like a big supplement girl. I take my old lady lifting. Somebody said that I'm not just getting old, I'm getting older. Yeah, I know I'm old. Whatever. Get over yourself. I take my little old lady lifting class and I try to keep my muscle strong, primarily to keep my bones healthy and not freak out at my next DEXA scan. But also I need to lift 50-pound bags on the ranch here. So I lift a lot of stuff. And so I take Beam creatine because first I wanted to to build muscle and maintain muscle. But then I also realized it's not just about muscle. It's one of the most well-researched supplements out there for energy, brain function, long-term health. It gives you more focus. Creatine's really good for your brain, you guys. And I just celebrated a birthday yesterday, so add a brain function as a bonus. So every single year I can get more brain function. It's really good. So Beam is the best creatine that I've found. I've done my research. It's clean, it's effective, it's made in America. And this company supports the values that we believe in, you guys. So that is important to me. It is tasteless. So I can add it to protein like shakes or just
even
any
water.
I can add it to water. So, you know, how I drink a lot of other stuff we talk about on the show. I can add it to that during the day. You can't taste it at all. It's just a tiny little scoop. It's white. It packs a punch, and its effectiveness is really good. There's no junk. It's good stuff. And the company is fantastic. It's the kind of brand that we support. So it's given our listeners, they're giving our listeners a really good discount up to 30% off, which is great. And that's a limited time offer. So you can go to shopbeam, BEAM.com/chicks. Use code chicks at checkout. That's shopbeam.com/chicks. You can get up to 30% off. It's good stuff, you guys. This is the real deal.
It's good stuff. There are some people willing to have the conversation about the whole trans issue. Jesse Waters being one of them. He had a really, really good monologue last night. Too long to play the whole thing, but I've cut it so we can get the best bits from it. Here's a little bit.
How are we supposed to protect ourselves from trans shooters? The media is bad at pattern recognition. We aren't. Just 2 years ago, another trans 20-something walked into a Christian school in Nashville with a rifle and shot 3 kids and 3 adults. They buried the manifesto and locked down the case. We've seen trans shootings in Colorado and in Maryland. They even shot up an ICE facility in Texas. And it seems like half of Antifa's trans. A couple of they/thems just got popped for firebombing Teslas. I don't hate anyone who thinks they're trans. I feel sorry for them. But statistically, the trans population has been prone to violence. That's not villainizing, that's reality.
Yep.
Society shouldn't be trying to produce more trans kids. We shouldn't be encouraging an emotional disorder or whatever this is. And doctors should stop profiting from it. Great Britain ended child sex change surgeries. They said it's barbaric, and they're right. And politicians should stop elevating the trans issue like it's the civil rights struggle of the 21st century. When someone has an illness, we should treat it instead of affirm it.
Yes.
We don't celebrate schizophrenia. We don't encourage depression. But the left's weaponizing trans kids and turning them into culture warriors. And they've been turned loose against the church, schools, and Trump.
Yep.
100%.
Totally agree.
100%.
It is a mental health issue that needs to be addressed and not celebrated.
And glorified.
And glorified.
And promoted. And encouraged.
Encouraged. Yeah. I mean, again, like yes, he's right. We don't hate these people. But you shouldn't be like, oh, yay, I have 2 or 3 transgender kids. I want them to be this way. What is wrong with you? What is going on? Like, we need to figure out what is happening with this population. Why are they so angry? Why are they doing this stuff? It is a pattern. You need to recognize patterns. Otherwise, you're a freaking idiot.
Well, and it's there. I think it was Andy No, actually, who was looking at various Reddit threads about this topic. And he posted screenshots from some of the Reddit threads from trans people. And it was terrifying. Like there are so many people who think exactly the way this freak thinks. And I was like, I reposted it and I was like, hi, FBI, this is a great place to start surveilling to hopefully prevent the next tragedy. Because unfortunately, this is a mental illness. Everybody should recognize it as such and stop pretending that it's something that we just need to accept as like a new identity.
Yeah.
It's not.
And again, the LGBs and LGBT need to be like, no.
Yeah.
We reject this and we're not like, we need to get them away from, you know what I mean? Because
other countries are starting to figure this out when it comes to gender affirming care. There's a whistleblower by the name of Jamie Reed who was on with Jesse Waters last night. And she tells, I mean, from her own firsthand experience of working in one of these clinics, she admits and says, I harmed kids. Here she is.
So I actually participated in medicalizing young people for almost 5 years. And what I saw was that we were harming these kids. They were not getting better. Often their mental health was getting worse. We were tearing apart families. And we also have to recognize that gender ideology tears apart other facets of our society. It tears at sports and families and safety for women and safety for families and kids. And so the ideology as a whole, to me, just became something that I felt like I was participating in harming the exact same patients that my job was supposed to be to protect, to make them better. I was making them worse.
Wow.
I believe it, though.
Of course. I mean,
every bit of it.
She participated in it. And by the way, she's like a big liberal. I think she's even married to a trans person. Like, she's the last person you would ever expect to come out and be a whistleblower for this cause. And yet her story is really powerful, really, really powerful. I mean, it's just unbelievable. And then it's not like it's hard to find other examples of trans people being absolute lunatics. Here's a great example. At a pride parade, I'm not sure where this is, but there was a pride parade where this fellow who is obviously not trying to cause a huge big commotion, he's wearing a t-shirt that says Jesus loves you. He's holding a sign that says Jesus loves you, and he's just quietly standing there, okay? And this is what happens.
I exist as my true self right now.
That's not your true self, that's what?
This. You don't think this is my true fucking self? What the fuck is your true self? You fucking ignorant piece of shit! Is your true self being a little fucking pussy who's shorter and feels insecure about how they are? What? Oh, you don't like coming into people's spaces and getting them uncomfortable for being their true selves? You don't like when people fucking do that to you? Then fucking learn and do that somewhere else and stop coming here, you fucking piece of shit!
Alright, man. I love you.
I'm not a fucking man! And you don't love me! If you loved me, you would put this fucking sign down, you would go walk, and you would thank everyone for being here authentically, as opposed to telling them with your fuckhead sign that they need to fucking convert and no longer exist! Stop fucking ruining pride for fucking everyone!
What an absolute demon.
Right?
I mean, that poor kid. Oh my, that individual needs to be leveled. Like, somebody just needs to cross-check it. But that kid has way more control than I would have had in that situation. Oh my gosh. I love you. He's like, I love you. I love you. Unbelievable. Wow.
But
and no, he's not. It's not Chris Farley, you guys. Chris Farley. That is mean to Chris Farley. Okay, I love Chris Farley. God rest his soul.
But I mean, this is it's not, unfortunately, it's not hard to find those examples, is I think the point here. And so, like, when Jacob Frey goes on all the shows crying about how, oh, this is, I mean, I just don't want, trans people to be demonized. Maybe a little demonization is what we need at this point to turn this incredible societal sickness around, because we cannot keep on promoting it and encouraging it. This is freaking bananas.
At least a little bit of reflection, and we need to address it. I mean, I think that the fact that we are, like you said, and we both said, promoting it at this point, the culture is promoting it. You guys, it's like a fire. At this point, it's like a forest fire, and it's out of control. It's just completely out of control.
Yeah. There was a moment on Fox yesterday. It was during the 5, and Kennedy was on, that I took a beat.
Yeah, I saw that too. I think a lot of conservatives took a beat with that.
Right. And so, because, this is the kind of thing that like pokes at our belief in freedom and love of freedom.
Right.
But she raises a point that needs to be raised. And, I'll just let her raise it.
I think there could have been something done if someone changes their name and thinks they're another gender. Would you not have them have access to weapons?
No, I think there are trans people who are stalked and they are terrorized and they worry about their own self-protection, and they deserve to protect themselves. I worry about someone who has ever gone to the doctor and says, I feel a little anxious. Can you prescribe me some Xanax for a plane, and then all of a sudden their name goes on some federal database. Yeah.
So what do we do with this? Like, do we, or what could have been done in this psycho's case? Because he bought his weapons legally. He did not have a criminal record of any kind. He was not on the radar of anyone, although clearly that's questionable. Like, how was he not on someone's radar? I have no idea.
Well, I mean, it should have been. There are obviously parents involved. There's a lot of stuff at play here. There are a lot of,
right.
It's like there's so much stuff that there's an onion that needs to be unraveled here. And it goes deeper than just gun laws. You know, it goes deeper than just him buying 3 guns. You know, this is a societal, deep issue that has a lot of elements to it. And all those elements were at play, and they were all failing this person. All of them. I mean, it like the fact that, you know, his mom is like, oh yeah, go ahead, do this. And I'm not just blaming the parents, but there are a lot of things at play here. This person was failed in a lot of ways. It just, it's from a mental health perspective. I think that we need better mental health facilities. I think people, they're not getting the help that they need. You know, and then there's the online perspective where these people are being fed, oh, you're so great, or you're this, or like, do this. And I just, there are a gajillion different things that probably made this individual a demon, you know? Yeah. Where is his father? I don't know anything about his father.
Their parents are divorced. We know that.
Well, I mean, this is the thing. There's just so many things at play here. You can't just pinpoint one thing that made this person a horrible, disgusting killer.
Right. Unfortunately, Candace Owens has completely lost her mind. And so her take on this was to immediately go into the wildest conspiracy possible. And here's what she said. This person was created by a doctor.
Oh,
these are the fruits of a deep state military experiment that has been going on since the 60s. That is why all of these shooters are exactly like the ones before. It's a factory.
She should probably stop with the theories at this point. She needs to just take a beat and not do this.
Oh my God. She's out of her mind.
She probably needs to just stop for a minute.
Frank McCormick said, pay very close attention to what she's doing. She's trying to shift blame to a doctor and or the field of psychology. She's already referenced Freud, so that she can ultimately lay blame on a Jewish individual or Jews collectively. And I would not be surprised at all if that's where this is headed.
Probably. It always goes back to the Jews, right?
My God.
She probably, maybe just get through the lawsuit that you got going on that you were so, I'm going to win it.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Focus on some other.
Yeah.
She's a lunatic. All right.
One conspiracy at a time. Okay.
So anyway, that happened. I feel like we've discussed it.
Yeah. Are we done?
And we're going to move on now.
Okay.
And you're going to now read a tweet. This came out obviously before the attack. This was a Trump tweet about George Soros. Because we're going to talk a little bit about how, just about Trump and his efforts when it comes to crime. But here is what he said about George Soros yesterday. You can read this.
Okay. George Soros and his wonderful radical left son should be charged with RICO because of their support of violent protests and much more all throughout the United States of America. We're not going to allow these lunatics to rip apart America anymore, never giving it much as a chance to breathe and be free. Soros and his group of psychopaths have caused great damage to our country. That includes his crazy West Coast friends. Be careful. We're watching you. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Okay.
So I wonder if this has something to do with the ongoing investigation of Act Blue and some of these Democrat NGOs that are super corrupt, and they've taken a ton of a ton of taxpayer money, right, for all kinds of nefarious things. I wonder if this is related to that. I don't know, because I'm not in Trump's brain.
Either way, it's kind of awesome. I mean, we've been hearing it. George Soros has been on everybody's radar. We've been hearing about how he's like a puppet master for years. Yeah. And so it's kind of nice that we're hearing a little bit about him going after this guy, like the great Oz behind the curtain, right? The Democrat curtain.
And this whole crime issue when it comes to Trump, I mean, he is his approval rating is surging. It's up by 5 points since his crackdown on crime in DC, and new approval on his policies on crime is at a majority. 53% of Americans, 81% of Americans now say crime is a major problem. And so, as our BFF Scott Jennings points out, this is yet again an 80-20 issue that Democrats are on the wrong side of, as they always are.
Yeah.
Always.
And listen, going back to the horrible thing that happened yesterday, I think when people on the left say your thoughts and prayers are crap, I also think that that's a losing issue for them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that is just so blatantly anti-American when people say that.
Yes.
I just do. I think that is, don't do that. People are going to look at you and be like, what? Seriously, you don't want me to love people and pray for them and want good things for them and be a prayerful person? Like, when you start saying that kind of stuff, people get their burr up. I just think that also is a losing issue. Even if you're not, I mean, I know people who are agnostic and they still find that off-putting, you know?
Yeah.
It's not
because the intentions behind it are always good and decent and loving. And so how you want to shit all over that, I just don't get it.
It's a bad take.
It is a bad take. Absolutely. Yeah. And, you know, Democrats' entire take on crime and the way to fight it is so ass backwards. It just makes no sense that they want to fight against Trump, who is trying to fight crime, but they continue to do it. And Kevin O'Leary and Scott Jennings talked on Abby's show last night about this, and I just feel like they really let her have it, and it was good. You'll hear it right now.
I understand that people do want safety. I mean, there's no question about
safety?
that, right?
You
people
get
want
beaten
safety.
to a pulp in broad daylight
people
in
want
LA.
safety and security, but I don't think it's true that people don't care whether or not the U.S. military is put
being pounded with a hammer
fellow
in broad
citizens. I mean,
daylight.
I think that's an important American principle that has its roots all the way to this country's founding, and it's also because the military serves a role to protect Americans, not to be used against Americans.
Exactly. You keep saying used against Americans. What kind of Americans do you mean? The ones that are murdering us, carjacking us, raping us, terrorizing our cities? I mean, you're saying like he's creating an actual war against American citizens when what he's actually creating is a war against criminals and, by the way, illegal aliens who they are rounding up by the...
You know what? That should be called...
That was perfect.
That should be
Am I
called...
frozen again?
You were for a second. It's okay. You're back. That should be called the Scott Jennings Show, honestly.
It really should. It would be so much better.
I don't even know what that show is called. I just know that it's Scott Jennings' show.
What is it called?
What is that show called? I don't even know.
Is it
the Abby Phillip show? Because it's not. It's not the Abby Phillip show. It's the Scott Jennings show.
Is it like the something with Abby Phillips? I genuinely do not know.
Nobody knows. Nobody cares. They just watch it for Scott. Let's get real.
Totally. 100%. 100%. All right. We also need to talk about what's going on at the Fed. There is this higher up at the Fed named Lisa Cook, who is yet another person like Adam Schiff, who decided that she was going to commit mortgage fraud. And so, as you'll see in these photos, on the left is her primary residence in Ann Arbor, Michigan. That is her primary residence for legal, tax, and financial purposes.
Okay.
On the right is her primary residence in Atlanta, Georgia, used for legal, tax, and financial purposes. If you did this, as Bad Hombre points out, you would be in jail. But Democrats argue that Lisa Cook is above the law because she's a Black woman and a Biden appointee.
Must be nice. It's like, is that Black privilege? Is that what they call that? Or is it Biden?
So.
Is it Biden privilege? Is that what that is? Biden privilege.
It's
okay.
Yeah.
Something.
That is
some kind of privilege.
It's
It's privilege I don't have.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And Newsmax, there was a guy on Newsmax yesterday talking about, because, you know, Trump wants to fire this person and all these people are like, you can't fire her because she's Black and she's a Biden appointee. And as Newsmax points out, this guy on Newsmax points out, Trump is well within his rights to fire her. Here he is.
Her job is to guard against the type of mortgage fraud that undermines the financial system, not to go out and commit it herself. The Federal Reserve Act of 1913, Section 10, gives the president and the president alone the statutory legal right to remove a Fed governor for cause. This type of for cause stipulation includes wrongdoing. What is more wrong than lying on a mortgage application in the span of 2 weeks on 2 properties in 2 states, getting 2 separate mortgages, both claiming they were her primary residence?
I mean, come on.
Right.
This is not just like, oh, I goofed. When you do it within 2 weeks of each other, who buys 2 homes in 2 weeks of each other?
Right.
Who
I
does
think
that?
He should fire her just because she called him a fascist in 2020. I'd be like, screw you. I don't want you working
Bye.
for me. You called me a fascist. F you. Here's my middle finger. Bye. I mean, that's seriously, would you want somebody to work for you that called you a fascist? I mean, she called him a fascist and she said he sows division. Okay. Let me introduce you to Obama, lady.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Here's a little bit more information about the mortgage fraud that was committed.
Though, is whether what the president has at this point amounts to cause.
At issue in 2021, Cook purchased a home in Michigan, then another home in Georgia, declaring both to be her primary residence based on a CNN review of mortgage documents, potentially double dipping on financial incentives for home buyers. But analysts note she has denied wrongdoing. She was never charged. That might not be a valid cause to fire her anyway, and she may have an explanation.
She could just say she made a mistake.
She could. She could. But as Scott Bessent points out, she hasn't even done that, which is super
putting
sketchy.
undue pressure on the Fed. And there are people like President Trump and myself who think that if a Fed official committed mortgage fraud, that this should be examined, and that they shouldn't be serving as one of the nation's leading financial regulators. And what we haven't heard from Ms. Cook is we haven't heard her say, "I didn't do it."
I mean, that seems kind of basic.
I feel
if you
like
ask
that would
me.
be easy for her to do. Yeah.
Like,
It's an easy
just
thing for her
say
to do.
it.
And like people like Paul Krugman, is it Krugman? He's like, this is like what did he say? He said it's like cheating on a 3rd grade exam. So Democrats are excusing this. Like, it's no big deal. Like, they're basically saying it's fine if you commit mortgage fraud. It's totally okay, you guys. It's fine. I mean, if I did it though, they would be like, put her in jail.
Oh my God, totally.
She's a conservative.
It's fraudulent. And she is in a high executive level financial role.
Yeah.
Over all of us. I mean, are you kidding?
Because it's always different for Democrats. Democrats always have different rules. F that.
And I loved that when Trump was asked about this, this may have been actually the same day as the cabinet meeting or in the cabinet meeting, but someone was asking him about this and basically saying, why are you spending time? Why is your administration spending time looking into the mortgage records of officials like this? And his response was spot freaking on. I loved it.
Government by digging into the mortgage records of officials you don't like.
No, they're public. I mean, you can find out those records. You can go check out the records yourself. And you should be doing that job, actually. You wouldn't do that because that's not the kind of reporter you are. But you should be doing that job. I shouldn't have to be doing it. If you did your job properly, we wouldn't have problems like Lisa Cook. Go ahead.
Oh
That's
my God,
right.
that was perfect.
That's right. Suck it, lady.
I love that so much.
Perfect answer.
Just a couple of totally unrelated random things, 2 of which are from Scott Adams, which I just thought were of interest. Remember how the other day during that cabinet meeting, we had told you guys that RFK Jr. had said, listen, we found some really significant things about autism that we're going to be announcing in September, right?
Yes.
So here is what Scott Adams said. We're getting close to Democrats coming out in favor of more autism. You can expect to see that in September.
They're going to be like, what's wrong with autism?
Right.
What's wrong with it? We really like it. I want my kid to be autistic. I really like it. Okay.
Oh my God, I just love him so much. And then he also retweeted a headline, which I thought was super interesting. There's a new shark that has been discovered
Oh.
that is orange, you guys. And so he said a Trump shark could be our new national fish.
I would call it a Tennessee shark. Almost.
Isn't that amazing?
It
It's so
is.
orange.
It's
Oh my
so
gosh.
orange. Wow.
So orange.
That is kind of nuts.
All right, let's do some cultural stuff. This video that you are about to see, it's a couple years old now. It was new to me though yesterday. And it's from a high school teacher who, and he's in our generation, right? He's an Xer who is rightly so frustrated by how dumb a lot of the youth are, right? And that he's giving an example that absolutely blew my mind. Behold.
Everybody, you will not believe what I'm about to tell you, especially if you're 45 or older, hopefully younger. But today in class, for those of you who don't know, I do teach high school. And today in class, I had a student ask me if I was alive when the world was black and white.
Oh my God.
Yeah. That look you have, same look I had. I went, what do you mean when the world was black and white? He said, like in the old TV shows, the world was black and white. When did it go color? I was like, what do you mean, when did it go color? He goes was the world black and white, or did just everyone see black and white?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I'm like, are you kidding me? He goes, no, a lot of people say that the world used to be black and white. I'm like, there's no way people believe this. He goes, ask other people. So I did. I said, hey, kids, how many of you used to think the world was black and white? Half of the kids raised their hand.
No.
And I'm talking like black and white Andy Griffith. They watched old TV shows and just thought the world used to be black and white.
Oh my God.
I was shocked. I actually went to another classroom because thinking they're pranking me. No one can think this. There's no way. Went to another classroom, asked the same question. 50% of the kids raised their hand.
I can't.
We're doomed, you guys. We are
can't.
doomed.
I'm gonna need a drink after. I'm gonna just day drink after this show. Oh my
Could I
God.
recommend Republican Red?
Yes, you can. Oh my gosh, you guys.
It's just such a sad, sorry state of affairs, you know?
Oh my God.
So, not to depress you further, but I saw that and I was like, yeah, we're going to have to talk about that. We're going to have to share that.
How?
Because that is a thing that people thought.
Parents, how? I mean, I feel like you just gotta be on top of this stuff,
Yeah.
Talk to your kids. Maybe have conversations once in a while.
You would have thought that these kids would have been exposed to The Wizard of Oz, for example, which starts out black and white and goes into color so that you can see that this is a movie trick. Like this is a TV trick.
Right.
It's not the actual world. You know what I mean? But no, that is what the kids.
It
used
is
to think.
unimaginable, gentle giant. It's an unimaginable ignorance.
Unimaginable.
It
Mhm.
is. Right.
And then this next video just is infuriating. Like there's a woman, you can't say anything on the internet. We actually did a little social experiment about this years ago on our website, where we decided that people were so interested in just being mad or outraged or wanting to fight people that they would get mad at literally anything. And so we thought, what could we post just as a picture that nobody could possibly be mad at? And it was like a basket full of puppies.
Yes.
But like the puppies were all white or something.
Right.
So people were thinking it was rape. Like people will find a reason to be
They'll always bitch about something. People
Always.
always find a reason to be mad and complain. They want
Always.
to complain about something.
or just take offense to something that is utterly not
Inoffensible.
offensive.
Right. Mhm.
So here's a great example. There was a woman who I guess made a TikTok saying that she was pregnant. She is pregnant. And she said in her video, she didn't care what the gender was. She just wanted to have a healthy baby. I don't think there's really anything wrong with saying that. Like,
No.
isn't every pregnant person, every mother to be Don't they all want that?
Yeah.
Right?
I feel like that's most women back before we did like the whole gender, finding out the gender. A lot of women don't find out the gender. And they're like, I just want it to be, I want the baby to be healthy.
Baby.
Right.
Every pregnant woman wants a healthy baby.
Right.
I mean, that's not offensive. And yet, behold.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
There is nothing you can say on the internet that somebody can't make negative. And there's also nothing you can say on the internet that somebody can then put words in your mouth and say something you did not say. For example, this lady posted this reel. She said, ignoring everyone who says it better be a boy this time and just praying for a healthy baby, which is, gender reveal, this and that. I just want a healthy baby. Somebody responded and said, mom of an unhealthy kid here to say that those babies are equally valuable and worthy of love.
Oh my God.
She didn't say they weren't. She didn't say that unhealthy kids aren't, worthy of love. All she said is, I'm praying for a healthy baby. Somebody else said, whatever healthy means, if it's not healthy, then your prayers won't be answered. How is ableism different from being sex selective?
Oh my God.
So you can't pray for a healthy baby no more? You can't wish for health? You can't even want health? You can't wish for it? So she said to the first lady, sending you guys so much love. And another person responded, not sure what you mean by sending her love when you just insulted her child for not being healthy. But she didn't, though. She didn't insult her child for not being healthy. All she said is, I'm praying for a healthy baby for myself. And you done told her that she won't love an unhealthy baby. You done said she insulted a woman's baby that she don't know. We don't need the internet. We definitely don't need comments because people will say you said anything.
I mean, people have lost their freaking minds.
Yeah, William the Texan, sweet meteor of death. That's right.
Yes.
SMD, just come now.
Smod, please come.
That's
We're ready.
It's nuts. People are nuts.
Oh my gosh. Well, and then this next clip will obviously put a nice little fine point on that. And it is related sort of, I guess, tangentially to the trans community. I had not, listen, it's bad enough that there are men out there that want to, they want to cosplay women, right? And so they do the makeup and they do the hair and the dresses and all that stuff. I was unaware that there is a subset of that community that actually puts on full ass skin suits, and masks of, anyway, I'm just going to show it to you because it's horrific.
And I put this mask on and the wig and, look very nice. It's like a beautiful woman walking down the street.
I just can't believe that that's a 70-year-old man in the mirror.
Oh my God.
And that's why I do this. If I saw a 70-year-old man in the mirror, I'd quit this tomorrow.
After years in solitude, Robert has decided to appear in public as Sherry at a gathering of fellow maskers in Minneapolis.
I don't have any friends that mask where I live, so I just came to see what kind of people do mask and wear rubber and are rubber dolls. And what kind of people are they? I don't know yet. All right, that might work with the wig. Okay, all right. Jeez, I don't know. No, I'm gonna go with that. But then with the gloves.
God, Mark.
When I do it, I want to look really good.
I'm getting it puts the lotion on or gets the hose.
Right.
Vibes.
It's
That's what
an
I'm getting.
actual skin suit. Hello.
You guys. You cannot tell me this is normal. It's not.
That's
normal.
a mental illness. Oh my God. There needs to be mental institutions for people who are like this.
And the left are like,
they're
they're victims.
Oh my God.
What's wrong with you, Daisy? Okay. What's wrong with me? What's wrong with me?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Mm-hmm.
All right. I promised we would leave here with fun things and happiness and joy. And damn it, that is how we're going to leave things. We're going to kick it off with some unfortunate dog mishaps, which are absolutely hilarious. Dogs can get into so much trouble. You guys, this montage. Oh my God, the destruction.
Crowley! Crowley, goddammit! Fucking hell! I get knocked down!
Oh, God. Oh God.
Lo voy a tratar.
Leo!
Oh no.
Leo! No!
Oh,
No!
Oh God. Oh no. Oh my God. That's my favorite. She's like, yeah, it's just a toothache. That one was trying to drown his brother. Oh my God.
I mean, they don't mean to be destructive, but my
No.
God.
Dogs.
That was a
This is
lot.
why we can't have nice things, you guys. This is why.
By the way, I saw somebody asking earlier. This is what my
Sorry,
shirt
I'm
says.
late. I saw a dog.
So
sorry, I'm late.
In case you were wondering.
Mm-hmm.
I know we showed pranks yesterday. This is a whole different kind of prank that this guy is doing that is so mean but also hilarious and scary, but watch.
¿Qué le pasó? ¿Qué le pasó, amiga? ¿Qué le pasó?
What in the world? What? Why are people freaking out so much?
Because he kind of comes at him. You know what I mean?
I mean, they're so freaking out.
Because look at how he does that. Like he kind of jumps at him.
My God. Oh my God. He's like, I'm just. Jeez. People are so jumpy.
¿Qué le pasó, vecino? ¿Qué le pasó, vecino?
I mean, he squares up. I would
But he's
totally react that way too because
so
he squares
jumpy.
up.
So jumpy. They should
You
just
would
be
jump.
I may jump, but I'd probably get into like fight mode. You know what I mean?
You totally
I just
would.
just be like, what are you doing? Yeah.
You totally would.
I
All
swear.
right. Last but not least, hide your kids.
Hide 'em.
your wives.
Hide 'em.
Hide your huskies, you guys. Hide,
Hide
your
'em.
dogs. Because we got some huskies for you. It's that same husky family that is so vocal. Here they are.
Oh my God, I love them. Just you need a husky. You need one. Oh my God. We need 3 of them. You need one so bad. I want you to have one just to bother Ron.
I mean, it's
Like
just
you need
domino
2.
effect.
You need 2 of them just to like. I want to see Ron's face with
Oh my
2
God.
huskies in your house. I just want to see his irritated face. I do, and you'd be like, and he'd be like,
They're just ridiculous. They're so ridiculous. I told you, Charlie, to hide your dogs. I
hide them,
said-
hide them, Charlie.
All right, we've got some thank yous from the Ball Pit crew yesterday. Teresa Douglas sent, this was for you to play the lottery, she said.
I did. I played it. We didn't win. We got like $28. I think, right, Sid? I think we
That's
got like
not
28.
bad.
It's pretty good. It's
Not
my
bad.
retirement, you guys. I'm like trying to like supplement my retirement with the lottery. it's a redneck lottery, you know, redneck retirement. I mean,
Cammie T said, happy birthday. Carolyn
you.
said, happy birthday. Have a great one.
no.
Tina Jump said, happy birthday, Daisy. Love the show. Loyal listener. First time shout out. Hope your day is amazing. P.S. Love you too, mock balls.
Thank you, Tina.
Colleen W said, I don't give a peanut about Taylor Swift, but every news piece that highlights the royal couple of America without mentioning Meghan Markle brings me joy.
Truth, Colleen.
I love that kind of pettiness. I love it.
Right.
Love it. Heather Sella said, I tried to write something else, but there are too many characters for Venmo, so I decided to say, happy birthday, Daisy. Sorry, I'm late.
Thank you, Heather.
And now you.
Okay, Marcy Peralez. Good morning, chicks. Hope you had a wonderful Thursday. Hope you have a wonderful Thursday. Thanks for being the best part of my morning. It's very sweet. Dawn Ackley, 2160. The guy who owns Steak and Shake holds 10% of Cracker Barrel stock. Now we know why he is so concerned about Cracker Barrel's welfare. That is very interesting, Dawn.
Very interesting. Well, the stock went up. With
Very
the announcement that they're not changing the logo anymore, stock prices went way up.
So interesting. Alex the Carnivore. Pray you reunited my grandparents, brought peace to my family after the loss of loved ones, and gave my friend courage to get justice for her daughter. Prayer works. And thank you to everyone who's prayed. I absolutely agree with you 150%, Alex. It does work.
Yes.
Reba Henry, 6242. Daisy, it's not the guns. It's the mentality of the people. When I was in high school in Oklahoma, cowboy teens hung shotguns in their trucks on school property, and we never had a school shooting or any other act of violence. That's right. Same with me in Georgia growing up. We never did. And people need to start questioning why that's the case now. Like, what is going on? Samantha Capehart. We should hire retiring service members as school guards. They're trained, have background checks, and have proven their dedication, or use the reserves guard like funeral detail, make it voluntary. Totally. I agree with that. Plus, we need to lock down the schools. We have to have metal detectors. It would deter. That would just be an extra level of deterrence. There's no reason we can't pay for that. Elizabeth Jared's 3717. Mayor Frey and Demrats will meet their maker. If he would have had Jesus in his heart, this would not have happened. This was the devil. God will prevail. I agree 100%. We need Jesus more than ever. Brian Brumley 1. Has to be said, Sodom and Gomorrah were leveled for less than this. The demons are loose and disguised as Democrats, progressives, and communists. Agree, Brian. Brian Brumley 1. And Islamists. Yep.
Yes.
Robin Brooks, 1940, celebrating my birthday with the chicks this morning. Longtime watcher from Michigan, trying to share the love. Thank you, Robin.
Thank you. I'm
Karen
sorry it was
Elliott.
so like depressing of a show.
It was. Sorry, I know. Hopefully tomorrow will be a better news cycle. Karen Elliott, 2903. Dems love sanctuary status, but they have no clue that for the faith community, a church is a sanctuary. This is what evil looks like. That is right, Karen. Karen Elliott, 2903. Read the list of side effects on the meds they give to trans people. Suicidal and homicidal ideation is on the list. Wake up. That is right. Yep. We need to be looking at all of that. And also antidepressants and everything that they're giving kids. All of the meds. Everything. We need to be looking at everything. Elizabeth speaks truth. Prayer, eternal rest grant unto them, O Lord, and let perpetual light shine upon them. Amen. Thank you, Elizabeth. Team Media and Publishing. Fact, gender identity disorder is very closely related to anorexia. Do we prescribe diet pills and gym memberships to them? Of course not. This trans insanity is completely criminal. Follow the money. Gender affirming, denying care is hugely profitable. Yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And that was very generous. Thank you, Team Media.
Yes, thank you.
Julie Denny, 492. We need National Guard at the schools. Criminals in DC are scared of the National Guard. A trans person wouldn't dare try. That's right. GDF 2119. Happy belated birthday, Daisy. Thank you. It's very sweet. Stroke Jen. Gender reveals defeat the purpose of the idea that an unborn child is not human. Also, it shows an admittance that only two genders exist. Hugs. Terry Ray Nick, 6070. Happy belated birthday. I will be sending thoughts and prayers, and I will accept them. I love them. And they will accept them. Yes. I love that. Thoughts and prayers are always welcome for everybody that, that gets it. So thank you for that.
I better check Venmo really quick. Yes. I'm so glad I did because somebody sent something. Let me look. Oh gosh, there's a few. Shane Medlin said, happy belated birthday, Daisy. You're living proof that things absolutely get better with age. Hope it was a great one. Alex Hopkins said, yesterday was the first live show I've missed in ages because it was my third daughter's 11th birthday. Watched the show later in the day and found out it was Daisy's birthday too. I knew there was a reason I like you so much. Love you, Virgos. Happy belated birthday.
Happy birthday to her.
And Kelly Wiseman said, I prayed last night and I will continue to pray for the lost souls in the world. It is not the tool that ends lives. It is the evil walking this world that does. Keep praying, jerks.
As we all should. Yep. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys, we're bringing it in. We all need a big hug today. Big hug. Extra big, huge, big mock hug.
And you know what? Like, thanks to everybody for like sticking with us when the news is hard and not fun to talk about. And also for understanding that even during hard news cycles, we still got to shout out our sponsors. They're what keeps our show free.
Right.
And so even though it's uncomfortable and awkward to do that sometimes, we appreciate you sticking through.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, Mock. Yeah, totally appreciate it. We appreciate you guys. You guys try to have a wonderful day, and we will talk to you tomorrow.
Hello, beautiful people. This is the Chicks on the Right's Indian correspondent. Thank you for watching or listening. Be very sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to stay up to date on all of their delicious content. Okay, thank you. Come again.